Welcome to STEMScopes ReTEKS. ReTEKS is a targeted 30-day science STAR prep program for both 5th and 8th grade scholars. Teachers keep students highly engaged with data-driven scopes that address all readiness and supporting standards. Whether you're refreshing the memories of successful students or reteaching struggling scholars, ReTEKS is designed to ensure mastery. Created by teachers for teachers, ReTEKS can be used whole group, individually, or for review. Let's take a look into the program and see how ReTEKS can help you and your scholars to be successful. In both the 5th and the 8th grade ReTEKS program, you'll find 30 different scopes. Classifying matter, properties of water, mixtures, changes from heat, and I can move down the list. There's 30 different scopes that are going to touch and cover all readiness and supporting standards. Let's jump into one of the scopes so you can see exactly what's inside. If I click on Classifying Matter, the first thing that you will notice is the Essentials tab here to the left. Under the Essentials tab, there's an instructor lesson plan. This lesson plan is going to include teacher background. It's going to include all of the instructions and facilitation points for implementing the hands-on activities, as well as questions with possible answers that students could give for each of the activities that the students are going to be doing. The Standards Unwrapped document is a great way to really get a handle and an understanding on what the standard is asking. The TEKS is going to be listed as well as the verbs and the nouns. Implications for instruction. This is very powerful if you're a teacher and you want to know exactly what needs to be done in order to hit the target on this particular standard. Also included will be released STAR questions. This one is from the 2013 release test. Here's one also from the 2013 and so forth. But anything that's been released on that standard is going to be listed here as well. So as a teacher, you can get a good handle on how they're going to question this particular standard. In addition to the Standards Unwrapped, you'll also find a materials list and answer keys under the Essentials tab. Once the teacher's ready to move on and begin working with students, they can look at the Engage tab. Under the Engage tab, there's a Picture This as well as Picture This student handouts. The Picture This activity, it's a short PowerPoint that can either be printed by the teacher or played as a slideshow, and it has questions, very nice pictures that go with it, and it really gets the students thinking about classifying matter. There's also typically something for the students to complete. In this case, it's a Venn diagram. To end the Picture This activity, there are reflection questions, so the teacher never has to be concerned about whether or not they're asking the right questions. The student handouts can either be printed by the teacher using this PDF document, or you can load your students into the program and assign it to them electronically, and they can in turn go and print it themselves. The Explore Explain tab has two components. There's a concept exploration as well as a science challenge. Both activities are available in English and in Spanish. The concept exploration is focused on vocabulary. It's a hands-on activity to really reinforce that prior knowledge and be sure that all gaps are closed. We want to really get a handle on whether or not the students understand what they're supposed to within this specific standard. The Science Challenge is a dual-coded activity. It's going to take that learning a little bit further. In this instance, the Science Challenge is a CSI activity where someone has broken into the science lab to eat lunch and they've left behind some evidence. Students have to use the evidence that's left behind based on its physical properties to decide who was in the science lab. Once the Explore and the Explain, the concept exploration, and the Science Challenge have been accomplished, a teacher can move on to the Elaborate tab. This tab focuses heavily on vocabulary and the understanding of terms and definitions. The STEMScopes is a sorting of vocabulary word sort. There's terms on the front of a card and definitions on the back, so students can match up terms to definitions. In addition to the matching game, there are 4 vocabulary strategies. There's a fill it, a find it, a pair it, and finally a write it. These are 4 different ways for students to practice their understanding and their knowledge of different science terms for this specific standard. For example, the find it activity looks a lot like this. So it's going to give a term at the bottom, and students have to fill in the term at the top to uncover a mystery word. Moving into the Evaluate tab, you're going to find a readiness assessment. These are questions that are very, very focused, high-level questions that are going to really give the teacher a good idea as to whether or not students understand this specific concept. You can either assign this to students electronically, where they can complete it on any device. You can also choose to select the editable version, where you can modify the questions, remove answer choices, add answer choices, really make it something special that's going to be meaningful to your students. The last tab you'll notice is an All tab. This is something that you can select that's going to just be a time saver for the teacher. It pulls up everything within the scope that we just looked at so that you're not having to click on all of the tabs. The last thing I want to point out is the planner feature. We know that time is very precious to teachers. So what the planner does is it allows for teachers to go through, and we just looked at classifying matter, so let's stick to that. Anything that I'm wanting to do, I can drag and drop into my planner. And by doing that, I'm going to save myself a lot of time, because as a teacher, when I log in and I land on my home page, everything that I pulled into my planner will generate on my home page, and this is all clickable, so it'll take me directly to that specific activity. So I had the standards unwrapped here in my planner. If I click on that, it takes me directly to that document, so I'm not having to dig through. I hope this helps. This was a quick overview. To learn more about the ReTEKS program, either the 5th grade or the 8th grade, please contact your account manager. If you're not sure who that is, please contact acceleratelearning.com customer service, and they will be happy to direct you to someone who can help. Thank you.